Hi, I'm Christine from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're taking a look at the Aer Go Tote 2, which I've been testing for 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, click like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you content to help you travel smarter. Now let's jump in. All right, so the Go Tote 2 is made with 210D crinkle nylon, which I found a very apt description for this. It's very lightweight and blue sign approved, so you can feel good about helping the environment at the same time. We've got black here, of course, but it does come in lunar gray and olive as well, which is very interesting. Aer's using YKK zippers here, and they've got Hypalon pulls which make it really easy to grab, just a little bit of Aer branding on the zipper pulls. And then the only other branding here is this Aer tag on the front on just this sort of Hypalon feeling piece of fabric. So it's really subtle, it's kind of nice. Then they also use Woojin hardware for this magnetic fastener, which is easy enough to open one-handed, which I like, and then it sort of just closes itself back up. And then also we've got these carry handles because it's a tote bag. It's just webbing that's just been folded over in thirds so that it's nice and durable and sturdy, so you can carry quite a bit of stuff in here. You do have this really nice loop that just stays on the back handle, and then you can use it to snap together and keep them together so they are easier to carry when you're walking around, which I really like. And then also on the back handle here, we have a luggage strap. So if you shop too much and you're bringing home a lot of souvenirs, you can just slide this over the top of your luggage, make it through, no big deal. This is marketed as a packable bag, but it doesn't really fold up on itself or anything like that. It is very thin and lightweight, but it does take up about the space of 2 t-shirts. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how packable it truly is. Okay, so this is a tote bag, obviously, so the carry comfort is mostly based upon what you're carrying inside of it. When I've got it all loaded down here with a couple of big water bottles, it will dig into your shoulders at times, but you can just easily switch it between shoulders, and it does stay up on your shoulder, which I like because I hate bags that just fall down. We do think this looks, very sleek and stylish, but it seems just as at home like in the city as it does on the beach. So that's a pretty nice feature in a travel tote bag. All right, so looking around the outside of the bag, let's start with this front compartment. It's got this sort of arrow shape here, sort of pointing to the magnetic fastener, which, as I said and showed you, you can easily do with one hand, which I like. This pocket takes up nearly the whole front of the bag, and it's great for just tossing in things, I don't know, like museum maps and just things that you accumulate throughout the day, but you don't have to worry so much about losing because, as you can see, it's not sealed. Anything could slide out. So don't go putting in, maybe things that you really care about losing. On both sides here, you can see we have 2 water bottle pockets, and they hold very well thinner bottles like this Hydro Flask or this really wide mouth Yeti I've got here. Although I do have to point out that when you're packing it all, I had the inside all packed and then I remembered I wanted to grab the Yeti, so I was trying to shove it in, and then you sort of have to rearrange what's inside to be able to work in wider bottles, just because obviously they're taking up the same amount of space. So there's just a little play that has to go on there. But you can get them in. It just, order of operations comes into play here. We're gonna flip around here, and right above the luggage strap, we have the only zipper pocket really on this. It's about as deep as my hand, but it's a good spot for smaller things and things that you don't want to fall out of any other pocket because everything else is just open and loose. So like I've tossed my phone in here, I toss wallet, stuff like that in here because it's still pretty easy to access, but you don't have to worry about things just sliding out while you're on the run. So lastly, we have the main compartment. As you can see, it is covered by this fabric zipper covering. I don't know what to call it, but it doesn't, you can see there's a very wide gap on either side here. So it's just sort of keeping things together. It's not necessarily keeping things in the bag, especially if it like falls off a table, you dump it over, stuff like that. We have a little loop here to hold to make it easier to undo, and then the end of the zipper hangs over to make it easier to do up, which is nice because otherwise this fabric is sort of floppy and you can see it's just hard to open. So that's nice. And we're gonna look inside here. I've just got a big packing cube in here just to sort of show you. It's like a 17.5 liter capacity. I was able to fit several regular size beach towels in here and take my little nieces and nephews to the splash pad. So you can cram a lot in here. It's just like I mentioned before, it's sort of like what you pack in what order will determine how easy it is to access. But looking inside here, there is a laptop sleeve. There's no padding on here, no false bottom. So just be careful when sliding in your device, and probably, you might want a protective cover on this. It does say that it can accommodate up to a 16-inch device, but just realize when you do that, this is a 13, but when I did the 16-inch device, then this fabric covering here extended like all the way up just to like, it was like butting up against there. So just something to keep in mind. Then on the other side, you can see we have these two pockets that have elastic at the top, and they're just sort of pouches. I tossed cords in there. I measured, they are big enough for like a Nintendo Switch or a small e-reader. So if you're going to the beach and you wanna bring your stuff, and you can slide those into those pockets, that's kind of nice. But I do wanna say, like, there's a lot of capacity here at the bottom, which is nice. I'm able to stick my lunch in here every day. But when you're trying to stick something wide, very large, like a lunch cooler or something, it helps to not have these pockets all packed out exactly, and maybe to slide your laptop in afterwards. Otherwise, everything sort of bulges out and it's harder to slide things past. It gets stuck on all the pockets. So I did find that it was easier to pack your larger items that you needed to carry first and then start filling all the various other pockets around this bag. But you can still fit quite a bit in here. It's being a tote bag, it's just nice open capacity. So whatever you're doing on your vacation, you should be able to fit it in. So there you have it, the Aer Go Tote 2. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.